we are building a same game parlay here on GDD throughout the show. So Brandon Anderson, it's up to you to give the first leg of this parlay.
All right, well, let's start out with a winner. I'm going to go with Al Horford. Old man, give me the bombing threes, over 2.5 threes. It's plus 150, plus 140, somewhere in that range, depending where you're looking. My guy is bombing right now. We watched him close out the Cavs, 6 threes, 6 out of 13, and he comes out in game 1, keeps shooting 3 out of 12 in game 1. Now, I'm actually less interested in the 6 and the 3. The 13 and the 12 is what I want. Give me the volume. Give me those shots going up, and you watch, you see him. He's open, and he is firing away. I think that's a strategic move by both teams, really. Boston wants to pull Miles Turner away from the basket. Indiana wants to say, go ahead, Al Horford. Go ahead, you beat us. We got other guys to defend here. We can't do everything. So Porzingis still out. Horford's really the only guy they've got in the middle. Luke Kornet minutes did not go well for Boston. So Horford's going to be out there. He's getting the shots up. If you do the math, Horford's about a 38% career three-point shooter. If we get even 7 attempts, the math says we got a better than 50-50 shot to hit 3. And we're getting plus money to hit 3 here. If we get 12 attempts, I don't know, we'll get 12 again. But if we do, we're more like 90% to hit this bet. So I think this number is way off. I honestly, Maria, I wondered if this would be a minus number or if they might even bump to over 3.5. That's how far off I think it is. If you want to go 4 threes or more, that's plus 380. You can bet him 9-1 to lead the game in threes. I don't mind either of those. You know, love my escalator, but for our same game parlay, Al Horford over 2.5 threes plus 150.
BMAT, I'm sure you've heard, we are building a same game parlay here on this show, and we need you to provide us with a leg. What is your pick for the SGP?
All right, so yeah, when I know some people when they hear SGP, they're like, "Oh boy, no, I love this. This is my territory. I am in." So look, let's just bump Obi Toppin up. I mentioned that he scored 10 plus points in his last 6 games against the Celtics. So especially when you're making an SGP, it's always nice to have a leg with plus odds, you know, just the correlation when, you know, the value comes out at the end and the odds you get. So let's go ahead and go Obi Toppin, 10 plus points, which is plus 125. And I'll go ahead and make that my official submission for Game 2's SGP.
You already know I am a big fan of Obi Toppin. I like that leg. And now I am going to give a leg for the same game parlay as well. You ready for this?
Let's do it.
Whew, a little nervous, not gonna lie, but I'm going Pacers plus 9 here. I have to just go with my gut. I thought that this number just looked a little bit high for a team that had very little issue keeping up with the Celtics away from home in game 1. You know, people keep talking about, oh, the Celtics, they're going to be so upset. They're going to come out strong in game 2. They're going to want to erase that performance. Well, what do you think the Pacers are going to want to do after they were in complete control and then gave it away? I mean, they know what they need to clean up. They need to clean up those turnovers. And how about Tyrese Halliburton? Unlike the last 2 series that he was in, he started off well in game 1. So he's not having to play catch up here in game 2. And by the way, I know that twice in these playoffs, the Celtics have covered as favorites after losing ATS, but those were outright losses. And they were against the Heat and the Cavs, teams that couldn't crack 100 points. Pacers have had no trouble scoring. And I also just think that Kristaps Porzingis' absence is still a key factor. I mean, that causes some issues for Boston defensively. And by the way, one of those bounce back situations I just mentioned, KP was there. He's not there. So I don't care. I'm doing what's fun. Give me the Pacers. Give me the fun team plus 9. B-Matt, what do you think?
All right, look, to add to your point, something that you didn't mention, which I think only builds to your case, the game started off 12-0 Boston. So, like, if you go ahead and say, like, if we, you know, start the game at that point, you know, you're right. I mean, it's a much different matchup for them. I like it. I think they'll come out. They can score the ball. That much we know. I just hope there's not this letdown of, you know, we should not have collapsed and given away game 1. But yeah, like you said, they should come out fired up, you know, knowing that they can play with these guys. And I think it's a matchup that they can, you know, we're seeing points. We know that.
And I didn't even mention with the sharp money on Boston, I get all that.
Yep.
Pacers last 5, 4-1 ATS. Celtics last 5, 1-4 ATS. I'm going with it. All right.
I like it.
Brian Matthews, thank you for hearing me out.
Thanks for having me.
Let's recap our GDD SGP. Brandon Anderson likes Al Horford over 2.5 3-pointers made. I'm riding with the Pacers to make this a game. And Brian Matthews thinks Obi Toppin can help them get there with 10+ points. Let's go.